we are having an opportunity to engage the voters, engage the residents, engage the property tax owners, the business owners, the members of the clergy, seniors, everyone who has a vested interest in DeKalb County being a great place to live. We have to ensure that we restore the trust that has been lost over the years.
I think the first thing we need to look at is how you actually schedule a meeting with the public. It can be by invitation, or the board member can ask the community organizations they can come out, but there's a certain protocol that you have to go through, and this is how it impacts the public. If I, as a board member, go out by myself, I guarantee you there's going to be a question that's going to deal with the day-to-day management of the school system. And the board stays out of the day-to-day management of the school system. Our protocol for going to meetings is that we contact the superintendent when we've been invited or when we want to go out. The superintendent informs his staff. So we put the staff on ready. I then contact the person and let them know that I need a list of questions. I take that list of questions, I pass it to the superintendent, and he gives them to the staff member that is responsible in the area that the questions need to be answered. Then I come out with all the staff that have an answer or a question that they need to fulfill to the public, so that I stay in my lane and that the staff stays in their lane. So that's the protocol. So you can get impacted if you go out by yourself, because you can put yourself in a compromising situation. So there are certain protocols that we deal with when going out in public and having community meetings.
I believe in any organization, and in particular as an elected official, you have to maintain a connection to those who elect you. So I do believe that town hall meetings have a place. I think that it provides your constituents an opportunity to address their concerns and their issues. And oftentimes, all people really want is to be heard. They're not looking for answers. They just want to be heard. So I think it's important that elected officials go out, listen to their constituents. Now, to address the piece that Dr. Erwin just stated, that you can't address all questions, that's true. But there is a way to address any questions that may need to be handled by central office. I do believe that board members can, because the reality is we are elected. The superintendent and his staff, they are not elected. The superintendent is hired by the board. So we have a responsibility to those who elect us. Now, do we answer every question? Absolutely not. There will be a lot of questions that may be brought up in town hall meetings that we would have to take back to the superintendent and allow he or her staff to address. But I do believe that it is important to allow constituents a forum for addressing their concerns and their issues. We're talking about 100,000 students. We're talking about their children. We're talking about taxpayer funding. We have a responsibility to ensure that we are hearing every stakeholder.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, it is true that we have to abide by the rules and regulation. The superintendent, we do get with the superintendent, let him know that we are having a town hall meeting. Questions may be asked that we cannot answer at that time. But what we got to realize that we work for the citizens of DeKalb County. Certain questions can't be answered. But I can assure you, being on several boards here in DeKalb County, have been on several boards here in DeKalb County, my job is to listen to the citizens. My job is to listen to the parents. My job is to listen to the students, to take back to the board and let the board know this is what the citizens and the students and the clergymen, the people in the community are saying. This is where we need to come together, because right now everybody's going different ways, up, down, side, and side. My job is to listen to you. My job is to bring what is going on in this district. What is going on in this district, we must change. The different high school, the different elementary, and the different middle schools. I'm asking in this district 25 men, 25 women at each school. We need more men in the schools. We need more parents in the schools. So when we come together and talk about these things, I want my PTA included. When we come together, then when you take it back to the board will understand exactly what's going on in District 3. This is what's happening in District 3, not in District 5. There's a big difference. And in District 3, we need all the help that we can get, especially tutoring our kids in District 3, because we are far, far behind.
Next question. Being elected to an office requires a great investment of time. What's your motivation to be an elected member of the school board? Yes.
Before I answer that question, let me just readdress something that Dr. Erwin said about protocol. Everyone on this stage knows there's three main areas that school board members are supposed to tackle: hire and fire the superintendent, pass a budget, and set public policy. We know what our lane is. We have a huge wake-up call when the governor suspended 6 of the 9 board members and appointed 6 new members, including Dr. Erwin and his staff. But to say that we can't engage our citizens, like that is a wrong approach that we should have. And that's why, that's the difference between someone who's appointed to a school board versus someone who's actually humble enough to ask you for your vote and support. And that's the clear difference. I have, colleagues who are on the Atlanta School Board who have regular meetings. One person I know is Dr. Stephen Lee. He's had a meet and greet with the new superintendent at Mapes High School. He's had a meet and greet at Douglas High School with her. He's doing a town hall meeting this weekend with one of his other fellow members. So to say that we shouldn't engage our citizens, that is a completely wrong approach that we should have in DeKalb County. We should be in front of you as much as possible. So in terms of being elected to this office, yes, it does require a lot of time. Yes, this is a part-time position. We got family commitments. We have other commitments as well. My motivation is simple. I'm a product of the district. I know what we can accomplish. I know what we have accomplished. And I think we just have to get back to the basics. And getting back to the basics means that, again, we have to make sure that we have great teachers, great school leaders in every building. We have to have a transformational superintendent. And we have to ensure that people like yourself feel like you have a vested interest in the future of our children and the future of our school system. Thank you.
Just to address Mr. Jordan there.
Yes, please do.
And I'm not going to get too deep in it. And I don't think I ever said that you should not be out in the public. I don't think I ever said that you should not engage in public. I said that there is a protocol. And what you don't want to do is get caught in a situation where you have to give an answer on a day-to-day management question. Because you can't say, I don't know. You can say that you're going to go back and get the answer. But before you do that, why not bring the staff to help you out? And there's other ways to address the community. There are PTSA meetings. There are programs at the school that I go to. There are a lot of other ways to be in the community. So let's just get that clear. I'm not going to even address the point about being appointed or elected, because the district seems like it's going in the right direction with an appointed board member. So, addressing the time management decision, or time management, my schedule has already been addressed since I've been doing it for the past year. So, it fits well with me. There are some times that you have to juggle with 2 kids, a wife, a career, but you make time for what you want to do. And what I want to do is be on the board.
Not to continue to reiterate, but I want to make one more point about the town hall meetings. I still say that we have to engage our constituents, but I think in addition to just going out, meeting with constituents and listening to their concerns, It's an opportunity as an elected official to educate. Because I'm also a substitute teacher. And what I often find is that when parents come to the school, they come angry because no one has listened to their concerns. And they think that somehow that the board is responsible for giving them the answers. So I think town hall meetings can also be a source of education, whereby we help our parents and stakeholders to understand what is the role of a school board member. What is it that we're supposed to do and what is it that we're not supposed to do? What we expect our superintendent to do on a day-to-day basis. So I think that brings more clarity to the situation. The other thing I'd like to see us do in town hall meetings is perhaps cross boundaries. Not stay in our districts, but maybe partner with some of the other districts, because I think then we get a broader vision of what's going on in other districts, and we can better communicate and perhaps find solutions. Yes, being an elected official requires a great deal of time. I'm a retiree, I do substitute, but I set my own schedule. And I am one that believes strongly that if you commit to being on a board, then you have to find the time and invest the time to do the job that's required of you. So I would bring flexibility and the amount of time. And as I said, one of my great issues is going to be financial. And as a former auditor, that's going to take a great deal of time. And I want you to know, if you consider me as the next District 3 board member, you can count on me to make sure I drill down into the financials and get to the source of the problems that we have been experiencing in DeKalb County.
Ladies and gentlemen, I see the expression on you all face. I'm going to take it very short. 4 things: discipline, leadership, priority, and accountability. That is what I'm going to bring to the board. That is what we must do. Not only the board and the superintendent must be held accountable. This is what we can do. We don't have to wait 6 months, 2 years. We can start right now. As a board member, yes, I am dedicated. Out of 22 years plus, I am dedicated to the citizens of DeKalb County. I'm dedicated to the citizens, the students of DeKalb County, because they mean a lot.